So in the first lesson, we're going to look at whole number addition. Let me first tell you a little bit about whole number addition. Whole number addition is just simply a way that we can group sets together. So let's say, for instance, I have a set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have a set of 1, 2, 3, 4. When I want to add these values together, what would end up happening is I would get a value of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, I can go about doing the addition in two ways. I could add it by simply counting each one of them individually, which would take a very long time when you have larger numbers. Or I can simply just learn how to do additions of numbers. When you're doing an addition of a number, you will try to see how close you can get it to 5. The reason I'm saying 5 is because you have 5 fingers on your hand and it's easy for you to actually reach 5. So let's say, for instance, we have 5 on one hand, and then we have 4. We can see right away that's equal to a total of 9. Alright? We can even say, okay, well, if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, we have an x 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have an additional 1. We already know that this piece would be 8, and this piece would be the additional 1, making it 9. So let's look at a couple of examples, just so you can have an idea as to how to do addition properly. Let's say, for instance, you have 23 plus 37. First thing you need to do is add these two numbers here, because the numbers are separated in ones and tens. So 3 plus 7 will be equal to 10. You cross the 0, put the 0 in the place here. Then you have this number on the side here. Let's look at this a little bit. We have 10 here, and that 10 represents 0 ones and 1 10. That's the reason we take this value here, the tens value, and we simply place it at the top over here, and I'll write that in blue so you can see it easier. And we place it at the top over here and add it with the other tens values that we have here. So now we have the tens values of 1 and 2 and 3, which will give us an answer of 6. We get a total of 60, and this 60 represents 0 ones and 6 tens. Let's look at the next example that we have here. Again, I'm going to break it up so that you'd see what each one of the numbers represent. This is ones, tens, and hundreds. When I find the total of 6 and 9, which is equal to 15, that 15 represents 5 ones and 1 10. The reason I take the 5 and I put it in the ones column, it's because that is 5 ones. Then when I take the tens, which is 1 10, I end up putting it above here because I have to add the tens together now. So I have 7 and 2 and 1, which works out to be 10. Now, since I am dealing with tens, the number itself is 0 tens and then 100. So now I take that 100 and I place it inside of the hundreds column, which is here. And now I have 1 plus 7, which will turn out to be 8. Oops, I forgot to put the 0 back. Here's the 0. So I get a total of 805. Now I won't go as slowly with this one. I will just simply do the calculations and show you it. So again, start off 9 and 7, 16, 6 cancels here and places here because it belongs to the ones column. Then I have again a 1 that I need to place up here in the tens columns, so I add it. 1 plus 7 plus 9 will be equal to 17. So I place it here, the 7 in the tens columns, and the 1 I'm going to place it here in the hundreds column. So I have 1 and 4, 5 and 2 will make it 7. And then I have a thousands column here, 3 and 6, which turns out to be 9. and I get a total of 9776.